So, we are going to do a 30-minute blitz session of Pilates. You don't need any equipment, just need your mat and a bit of space around you. We're going to start standing up. So get yourself nice and comfortable. Let's just start by circling your shoulders. Just start easing that tension out through the shoulders. All those creaks and crunches as you start to circle your shoulders round. And as normal, we're going to start to do some big circles through the arms. That's it, just check you've got space around you. We're going to work down onto the mat in a second, but we'll just start getting the body moving at the top. There we go, perfect. Okay, let's work with the breathing. Take a nice deep breath in as you come up and breathe out as you come round. Deep breath in to come up and breath out to go round. Perfect. Okay, let your arms rest by your side. We're going to start really working through the legs and the abdominals today. So, get yourself nice and comfortable. I'm going to start with just a gentle squat. So, feet are hip width apart, and we're going to take a nice breath out as you come down into your squat and breathe in as you come back up. Good. Breathe out as you go down and breathe in to come back up. Breathe out to go down. Breathe in to come up. So from the side, we're just going to work on driving the bottom backwards. So breathe out and breathe in. Breathe out and breathe in. That's the easy version. If you want to start to make it a little bit harder, we're going to start to focus onto one leg. Get yourself balanced onto one leg. Slightly harder, but not too hard. Keep the other foot in contact with the floor. You're coming down into your squat. Drive through the leg you're standing on. So you're keeping the other foot nice and relaxed. We're coming down and drive back up. If you want to make it a little bit harder still, take your leg up. Ooh, here we go. This is going to challenge balance. And we're going to come down and come back up. So we're really switching on through your glutes there. Slowly down. Slowly back up again. Really drive through the leg that you're standing on. Okay, you don't need to make it too hard for yourself. If you feel a bit wobbly or that's really starting to be a bit too intense, pop the foot down, but just keep it nice and light so that it's just the tips of your toes in contact with the floor as you come down. So this way, once you're down, you can really drive through your glutes to push back up. Okay, breathe out as you go down. Breathe in to come back up. Good. Breathe out to go down. Breathe in, come back up. Let's swap onto the other leg. Okay, so start with just your tiptoes in contact with the floor before you go into the full balance if you're going to do it. And we're going to breathe out to go down. Breathe in to come back up. This leg is nice and light. The leg you're standing on is doing the work. Now just watch as you go down that your knee doesn't come too far over the top of your toes. So drive your bottom back and come up. If you want to go for the balance, see if we can do it. Here we go, down and drive back up. Good. Control it down, drive back up. So you're really switching on through your glutes. You don't have to go for that. Certainly if you've got any knee problems, hip problems, stick with just the balance on the leg there. Super. Okay, let your legs relax and we're just going to walk through the ankles. There we go. We're going to make our way down onto the mat, so let's roll down onto the mat. You can start at the edge of your mat and roll yourself down. So let's start up really tall. Lengthen through the spine, shoulders into back pockets, and when you're ready, tilt your chin down towards your chest. Don't let it touch. Let the spine start to roll through the upper part of your back. Roll down through the middle part. Keep your knees nice and soft. As your hands come down past the knees, your hips are now going to start to rotate, so the hips come round. Don't stick your bottom back, keep your bottom tucked under, just let the hips rotate round as your hands come down towards the floor. Perfect. Keep your hands onto the floor, let the knees bend. If it's more comfortable, take your feet a little bit wider apart. From here, breathe out, stretch your knees, lengthen your bottom up towards the ceiling and breathe in as you come down. Good. Breathe out, lengthen your legs up so you're really stretching through the backs of your legs, certainly right into your hamstrings there. And breathe in as you soften down. Breathe out, lengthen up. Breathe in as it comes down. Two more. Breathe out, lengthen up. Breathe in as you come down. Breathe out, lengthen. And breathe in, soften down, come down onto all fours. Perfect. Okay, so we're in our tabletop neutral, all fours. We're going to breathe out as you lengthen one leg away. Your hips are stacked on top of your knees, your shoulders are on top of your wrists, so you're going to extend one of your legs out. From here, you're going to rotate that foot so that your toes point out and your heel points in. Just watch your hip as you do this, because as you do that, the temptation is to lift the hip. You need to imagine that your pelvis here has got that tray of drinks sitting across the top there. So as you rotate the foot out, your pelvis stays parallel with your mat. Now, when you're ready, squeeze your bottom, lift the leg. It doesn't have to go too far. We're not necessarily aiming to get completely horizontal. All we want you to do is switch your glutes on and squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Only through your bottom muscles. Tell your hamstrings they're not needed right now. It's just your bottom. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Keep pulsing. Squeeze and relax. As you're doing this, draw your tummy button up towards your spine. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Keep your neck nice and long. Keep pulsing through that leg. Squeeze and relax. As you're pulsing now, just check you haven't shifted your centre of gravity onto your kneeling leg. Okay? Make sure you are still central onto the mat. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. That's it. Keep pulsing it. 2 more. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax, and sweep the leg back in. Going on to the other side, so we're going to breathe out, lengthen the leg out, tilt your hip, so rotate from the hip, your toes point out, your heel goes into the midline, you don't lift your hip, keep your hips parallel, and watch you haven't leant over onto the knee that you're still balancing on. You want your hips to still be in that centre position. Relax through the shoulders, lengthen your neck, and when you're ready, squeeze through the glutes, lift the foot off the mat, squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Pulse through your glutes. There we go. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Good. Going for a few more. Just keep breathing. Just make sure you're not holding your breath. Slowly breathing in, slowly breathing out. Okay. If your wrists are really hurting at this point, you can still do the same exercise in this position. Okay, your tray of drinks is not going to stay as parallel. Your hips stay parallel, but obviously your shoulders are going to be a little bit lower towards the mat, but you can still do exactly the same exercise. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Good. Okay, 2 more. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Slide that leg back in. Let's sit down onto your heels and lengthen your arms out. Let your head relax down towards the mat. Brilliant. Perfect. So, we're going to take you onto your backs now. You're going to come onto your back, lower yourself nice and gently onto your back. Neutral position, feet hip width apart. Let's just rotate through the spine just to get it moving first of all before we start working it as a powerhouse. So, we're going to think about rolling the pelvis towards you, flattening your back against the mat, squeeze through your glutes. You've already switched those on, so it should be easier just to recruit those glute muscles there and peel your spine up and away from the mat. You don't need to go too high, we're just rolling through the spine as much as is comfortable, and then roll back down through the spine. One by one, place your spine back onto the mat and tilt back to neutral. Let's do 2 more. Lower your spine down towards the mat, so you're softening your low back, tilting the pelvis up towards you, getting that real tilt through the pelvis. Once you've gone as far as you can, switch on through your glutes and peel your spine up and away from the mat. One by one as you're lifting yourself up towards the ceiling, and then place the spine back down again as you're rolling yourself back down. Perfect. Last one. Tilt your pelvis backwards, squeeze through the glutes and peel your spine up one by one as you're lifting the spine away from the mat. Squeeze through the glutes. Once you're up at the top, I want you to pause there. You're going to keep that position now. And from here, we're going to relax your bottom on one side. So release the glute on one side, re-squeeze it, switch it back on. Opposite side, let it drop, re-squeeze it. So your hips are tilting down to the mat one side and tilting down towards the mat the other side. Try not to let your hips go from side to side. It's literally drop and raise back up. release your glutes, drop the other side, bring it back up. Drop and lift, release and squeeze. One more each side, release and squeeze, release and squeeze. Keep them activated as you roll your spine back down one by one. When your hips meet the ground, when your pelvis comes onto the ground, now you can relax your glutes and tilt your pelvis back to neutral. Perfect, good. What we're going to do is we're going to peel up from the other end this time, so your hands are going to rest on the fronts of your thighs. I want you to draw your tummy button down to your spine, so you're really thinking about engaging through this deep transverse abdominis muscle, so the band type muscle that attaches between your two pelvis bones there. Draw your shoulder blades down into your back pocket. Imagine you've got a ripe peach or a tennis ball underneath your chin. So as you lift, we're going to peel up from the top, but I'm going to get you to imagine that someone's stuck a hook into your chest bone here, and the hook is being drawn up to the corner of the room. So you're not lifting with your chin, okay? You're peeling up through your chest. Okay, and hands are going to slide up towards your tops of your knees. And then we're rolling the spine back down, one after the other as you place back down. If you feel when you do this exercise that you're really recruiting with your neck, pop yourself a pillow underneath your head so that you're taking that pressure out. Heads are quite heavy, so if you're quite new to these exercises, then obviously pop a pillow there. Okay, here we go. Breathe out, peel up. Imagine that hook's drawing you up towards the ceiling. Breathe out and breathe in as you're rolling yourself back down again. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Watch they don't sneak up towards your ears. Here we go, a few more. Breathe out, lift. And breathe in as you roll yourself back down again. Good. Breathe out and lift. And breathe in as you come back down. Really control the spine one by one. Take the tension out of your neck. Last one. Breathe out. Peel yourself up. Hold it. And then start to lower yourself back down again. Fantastic. Just let your back relax nice and gently against the mat there. Okay, we're going to work the obliques in the side of your abdomen here. Bring your hands towards your sides. Just walk your fingertips away from you so that your shoulders are sliding down away from your ears. And we're going to lift your hands up and away from the mat so that they're level with the knobbly bit of the hip bone there in your pelvis. Okay? Keeping your head on the floor, let's just start the movement. You're going to breathe out and stretch to reach one ankle and breathe in as it comes back up. Off to the other side. Breathe out. Slide your head around the mat so you're not lifting your head up too much and come back. We're just starting to engage with that muscle. Breathe out, stretch around, breathe in, come back up. So I want you to really notice that you're using the side muscles and not the deep down central abdominal muscles. Breathe out and reach. Perfect. So what we're going to try and do is incorporate that little lift and the side bend at the same time. So the lift, remember, it doesn't come from your neck or your jaw or anything like that. What we're going to lift is from the chest. So peel up from the chest. Here we go. Breathe out. Stretch down to reach one side and breathe in to come back up. Breathe out. Lengthen to the other side. Breathe in as you come back up. Breathe out to lengthen. Try and stretch to reach towards your calf muscle. Breathe in to come back up. Other side. Breathe out. Lengthen. Now keep your shoulders nice and soft. If you feel like you're working your neck too much or working your jaw, anything like that, just roll yourself back down. Go back to that first exercise. Perfect. Good. One more to each side. Slide down. Come back. Reach down. And come back. Roll the spine back down one at a time. Relax your shoulders. Good. Let's take the tension out of the neck. We'll go back to the other end and we'll lift the legs up. If you can, single leg up onto coffee table. Drawing through your tummy muscles. Draw your tummy button down towards your spine. Raise that second leg up to coffee table. Okay, from here, I'm going to get you to cross your feet over. And we're going to think about drawing your knees in towards your chest. Okay, but we're not doing it by just throwing the legs in. What I want you to do is think about bringing your pubic bone towards your tummy button. Okay, so think about drawing your pubic bone towards your tummy button as if you're almost scooping your hips round and under to create that roll. Okay, so use those deep tummy muscles to draw the legs in nice and slowly. So you're going to breathe out, draw everything in, suck your tummy button down towards your spine, allow your pelvis to tuck under as you're drawing your pubic bone towards your tummy button. Good. Breathe out as it comes in towards you, and breathe in as it slides back. Good. Breathe out, draw your pubic bone towards your tummy button, and relax. A few more. Good. Pubic bone to tummy button. Really feel that band muscle work through your pelvis there. Last two. Draw it in. Really work towards tummy button to, pubic bone to tummy button. Here we go. Last one. Perfect. Pop one leg down. Pop the other leg down. Let's take you into a full body stretch. Great. Good, really lengthen, push your fingers towards the wall behind you, push your feet towards the wall in front of you, keep stretching and lengthening. Fab. Okay, bring your hands back by your side, take yourself back up into that neutral position. Okay, so from here we are going to go easy version, single leg into coffee table. Okay, both the arms up towards the ceiling. And we're going to breathe out and lengthen your leg up towards the ceiling and your arms down towards the floor. Breathe in and bring them back up. So you're breathing out as everything is lengthening away, and you're breathing in as it's all coming back up to this like dead bug position, as we'd call it, if you're kind of in this position. Okay, if you want to make it a little bit harder, as you lengthen your leg away, the lower you take your leg, the harder your abdominals will have to work to support your spine so it doesn't collapse down onto the mat. So we're breathing out and lengthening everything away, and breathing in and drawing it back. If you can maintain a really good neutral spine and your back does not collapse against the mat, and your abdominals don't over-recruit and push up, you can try this exercise with both legs up and both arms. So we're breathing out as you lengthen away. Breathe in as you come back. Breathe out, stretch and lengthen. Breathe in and come back. Remember, the lower you take your legs, the harder your abdominals will have to work, the harder your back muscles are going to have to work to maintain that neutral position. So if you lose neutral, go back to that start position. If you're in a beginner's move or an easier move and you've still got single leg, let's swap to the other side now. So you're breathing out, lengthening everything away, and breathe in. If you've still got both legs up, keep maintaining that neutral spine. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, draw it back up. Shoulder blade down into back pockets. Keep thinking about nice long leg. Breathe out, lengthen that leg away. You can test how low you can take it as long as your back is staying in that nice neutral position. You're going to feel it working, so it's drawing on that muscle that's underneath your tummy button. So between your pubic bone and your tummy button, that is where that transverse abdominis muscle is really working. Breathe out to lengthen. Breathe in to draw back up. Good. Breathe out to lengthen. And breathe in to draw back up. Fantastic. Pop the leg down, pop your arms down. Let's bring knees in towards chest and hug in towards you. Draw a few circles one direction. And then draw us a few circles around the other direction. Perfect. Good. Let's pop the feet down. This time keep both feet together and both knees together. Relax your arms by your side. Walk your fingers away so you've got that nice neutral spine. Recheck with the low part of your back that you've got a nice little arch in your spine and you're drawing your tummy button in towards your spine. As you breathe out, we're going to lower both knees down to one side. You can go down so that you lift your hip off of the mat. And then let's work through your tummy muscles to pull the hip back. So your tummy muscles are working to pull your hip back and the knees just follow. Good. Breathe out. Opposite side. Drop the knees down towards the floor and the hip, you can see there, your hip is allowed to raise up off of the mat. Chest stays flat, shoulders stay flat. The rotation comes through your spine. Now work. You're going to work through your abdominals here to push the hip back onto the mat. And the knees just float back up to center. Perfect. Breathe out. Drop the knees down. Lift the hip. Great. And then work through your abdominals. Draw your tummy button towards your spine. Let the knees raise up. Here we go. A little bit further this time. As you breathe out, the hip raises up. This time it's going to rotate further so that your ribs raise up. And then work your ribs back onto the mat. Work through your waist. And now you're going to really work because you've got further to take the legs now. So there's more activation through those abdominals there. And off to the other side. Drop the knees down. Let the hip raise up. Let the waist and the ribs come up as well. Shoulders still stay flat if you can. Work through the ribs, so really work to pull that rotation back. Work your ribs back onto the mat. Work your waist back onto the mat. And then your hips. So you're getting that full control through that transverse abdominis muscle. One more to each side. Breathe out as you drop down to the side. Hip comes up, waist comes up, ribs come up. Full rotation of the spine there if you can. Work the ribs back, work the waist back, work your pelvis back using your abdominals. Good. Last one, drop the knees down, hip comes up, waist comes up, ribs come up, and work the ribs back, work the waist back, work the knees back. Fantastic. Let's take this up into a full body stretch again. Lengthen away. Push your fingers towards the wall. Push your toes towards the opposite wall. Good. Okay. So from this position here, bring your knees in towards your chest. Hold onto your knees. And you're just going to start rocking your knees in towards your chest. Okay. We're going to imagine that your spine is going to become like the bottom of a rocking horse. And you are going to allow your chest to come up. So as we've been doing all the way through this session, imagine the hook in your chest is raising you up. So you're coming up to this position. So we've got that rocking movement going through the spine. Here we go, nice and strong through the abdominal muscles, rocking through your back. And we're getting higher each time until eventually we're going to end up sitting up if we can. Okay, let your feet rest onto the mat. If you feel confident with this movement and you've got a nice rolling movement going through your spine, this is going to be your exercise. So we're drawing the toes up, we're drawing in nice and strong with your tummy muscles, shoulders are relaxed. As you breathe out, we're rolling and then coming back up again. If you are quite flat through your low back and it's quite difficult to work through there, just go back to this position here and just work through your low back and just rock from here. Eventually, we're going to hope that you get far enough rocking to get up. Sometimes when you do this exercise, you need to put a little bit, like a small hand towel underneath your back just to help create a little bit more of a rolling motion through your spine. Okay, those of you that are sitting up, let's see if we can do it. When you come up this time, you don't put your feet onto the mat, so we're going to hold it. We're going to take the feet back, roll back, come back up, see if you can hold it. Toes don't touch the ground. Here we go, 2 more. Breathe out, roll, come back up and hold. Last one of like this, breathe out and breathe in. Okay, this time I'm just going to shuffle on my mat a little bit more so I don't disappear off screen. Okay, so this time we're going to see if we can do a little bit of extension of the legs as well. So, nice and relaxed with the hands. You're not gripping on for dear life here. These hands are nice and soft. Feet are up. We're going to breathe out, roll. Breathe in as you come back up. And this time, see if you can lengthen your legs away. Draw the knees back in. Nice and soft through the knees. Breathe out, roll. Breathe in, come up. And lengthen. Draw them back in. Now your abs are really working. Roll. And lengthen. Draw the knees in. Last one. Breathe out and roll. Come back up. And lengthen. Draw the knees in. Pop your feet down. Perfect. Okay. Let's have a little stretch out through your knees and hips. Come up to kneeling. Okay, squeeze through your glutes so that your hips are pushing, not so you're arching your back, but so you're switching on through your glutes and just pushing into the hips a little bit. If you can, we're going to then go into 90 degrees with your knee 90 degrees with your hips. Really work to tuck under. So you're squeezing through your glutes. Although you shouldn't be feeling it too much through your glutes as you do this, because we're not moving the pelvis too far, you should get a lovely stretch through the front of your thigh there. Good. And then take your front leg a little bit further forwards. Come nice and gently over your knee, just in case it catches on your kneecap. And you're going to come down into this stretch. So starting to really open up through the hip flexors there. Good. If you can, hands are going to come down onto the mat here. And we're going to drop down even further. So I want you to really feel the stretch through the inner thighs there as well. Good. Hold that stretch there. That's it, good. Keep breathing. And very gently come out of that stretch. Up to kneeling again. Take the pressure off of that kneecap. And we're going to swap the knees round. So opposite knee into 90 degrees here. Tuck under with your hips. So you're scooping your hips under. Keep your 90 degrees with your hip and your knee. And feel that stretch through the front of your thigh there on the knee you're kneeling on. Perfect. Should feel quite a nice stretch there. And then when you're ready, take that foot further forwards. Control it nice and gently over your kneecap so that you don't put pressure onto it and you're coming down into that lunge. So we're opening up through the front, the upper part of your hip flexors there. You might feel it a little bit on the inside of your thighs. Might not be too much. But if we come down now, pop the hands onto the mat and really drop your hips down. You should feel that stretch through your inner thighs there. Okay, try to watch the knee doesn't drop out, that front knee. Keep it close to your shoulder. Good. Perfect. Okay, from here, just take the other knee back. So you're going to end up onto all fours. Tuck your toes under, come up into this down dog position. Really push your shoulders away so you're stretching through your shoulders. You can drop your weight back into your heels, so both heels are dropping on towards the mat. If it's really tight through your calf muscles, go into a little bit of a prancing type movement so you get a little bit more movement. But if you feel the stretch a bit more, you might want to just push through your hands and push your weight into your heels. Perfect, good. Just enjoy that stretch. Keep breathing. Good. Okay, bring your feet in towards your hands. Hands towards your feet. You're at the bottom of your roll down. Straighten through the knees. Tuck under with your hips and really roll your spine back up one by one as you're coming up to standing. Perfect, up nice and tall there, good. And just circle through your shoulders again. Good. Just open up through the chest. Let's do a nice deep breath in and come up. And breathe out and come down. Deep breath in as you come up. And breathe out as you come down. Good. Breathe in to come up. This time you're going to bend your knees as you come down. Bring your knees down. Cross your arms in front of you. And breathe in as you come up. Breathe out as you come down. Curl through the spine. Breathe in as you come up. Good. Last one. Curl yourself down. And nice deep breath in as you come up. Let your arms relax down. Brilliant. Perfect. Hopefully you enjoyed that one and you don't feel it too much for your abdominals tomorrow. I'll see you on the next one.